you can make up a great interview. You could even have a bad interview, but you can't run away from your past. And so have a good past. Try to have a good past. And in a lot of ways, I was serious when I said I was a good dishwasher. I was probably Denny's best dishwasher. I planned my work. I was organized. I was mise en place. And then I washed the living daylights out of the dishes. And then they promoted me to busboy. I was certain I'm the best busboy Denny's ever had. I never left the station with empty-handed. I never came back empty-handed. I was very efficient. And then and so anyways, eventually I became, a CEO. I'm still working on being a good CEO. But I think one of my great advantages is that I have very low expectations. And I mean that. Most of the Stanford graduates have very high expectations. You deserve to have high expectations because you came from a great school. People with very high expectations have very low resilience. Unfortunately, resilience matters in success. I don't know how to teach it to you except for I hope suffering happens to you. And to this day, I use the phrase pain and suffering inside our company with great glee. And I mean that in a happy way. Because you want to train, you want to refine the character of your company. You want greatness out of them. And greatness is not intelligence, as you know. Greatness comes from character, and character isn't formed out of smart people. It's formed out of people who suffered. And so that's kind of the. And so if I could wish upon you, I don't know how to do it, but for all of you Stanford students, I wish upon you, ample doses of pain and suffering.
There's some advice that says you should choose what you love and what you're passionate about. That's what your career should be, and I think that's terrific. I think that's terrific. If you happen to know what you're passionate about, if you happen to know what you love, but I think there are a lot of people who don't know what they're passionate about and they don't know what they love, and the reason for that is because nobody knows everything. How could you know what you don't know? So in a lot of ways, the idea that you would only choose careers that give you passion, that gives you, makes you happy, is a bar that I think is too high, number one. And the reason for that is because whatever you decide to do for a living, whether it's you found something that you're passionate about, this is your job. And in my case, it used to be cleaning toilets and bussing tables. It was my job. And I will do the best I can in my job. Whatever you give me as a job, I will do the best I can possibly do. And I do that today. Now, there's a misunderstanding that somehow CEOs, we love our job. And many CEOs, I'm passionate about my job. I love my job. They're lying. There's not one CEO who can say that, from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed is just zippity-doo-dah. The fact of the matter is, I really love doing 10% of my work, and 90% of my work is hard. And I do it to the best of my ability anyhow. And I suffer through it. I literally suffer through it. I prefer to do something else, that other 10%. But that other 10%, there's only so much quantity of that, and every company has an abundance of problems, and there comes in different types, and you're going through life, you're gonna have abundance of problems that are gonna come in different types, and you just have to learn how to condition yourself to want to get to a better state no matter how hard, to get better no matter how hard. And that's suffering. You don't like doing it, but you're doing it with all your might anyways. What do you call that? That's suffering. And so I think that when you suffer and you have the benefit of struggle, and you're being presented with many opportunities like that, it teaches you resilience. And when the time comes and the world or your family or your company or your colleagues, they need you to be tough. They need you to be resilient. They just need you to be able to fight through it. You don't have that character about you. You don't have that muscle unless you've gone through it a whole bunch of times. And so, I'm advising that you not seek for just joy, that you also seek for some pain, some suffering, because you're going to need it someday. And then lastly, it's just your job, you know?
It's not a word, but have a core belief. Gut check it every day. Pursue it with all your might. Pursue it for a very long time. Surround yourself with people you love and take them on that ride. So that's the story of NVIDIA.